First of all, I hate to see stuff like this. I seen this in the news yesterday when I got in, and I've watched it several times. I rode out there and drove around in the parking lot, which you'll see that video at the end. And I flew the drone. I was not prepared to fly the drone, and I didn't have none of my batteries were really good, so I got what I could get. I'll probably go back out there and check it out. But what this is a humongous piece that's going to our new aluminum steel mill that's being built not too far from this location. And obviously there's two of these things, this big blue thing right here. There's two of them on, this one was on the barge and the other one's on the barge, and there's two more things on the barge too. This is one of those heavy haul wagons, remote control trailers. There's another one sitting in the parking lot to pick the other one up. What looks like happened is this piece was sitting on top of that cribbing on the barge, and they closed this boat ramp where they could do this. They run this heavy haul wagon, I'm gonna call it a wagon, it may be something else, up onto the ramps on that thing. They had a tug pushing against the barge, and then they had these two excavators sitting side by side. If you look right down there toward the nose of the barge on the right-hand side where the right-hand excavator is, you can see where the barge was actually pushed into the dirt bank right there. Looks like they probably drove this wagon up onto the barge underneath this, whatever this heavy thing is, and then jacked it up, took the cribbing out from underneath of it and set it down onto that trailer. And then they were going to probably drive it off like they are right here, and onto the boat ramp, and then carry it on to the steel mill where it would have been put in place. What I imagine happened was when they got toward the nose of that barge with that thing, however much it weighs, that barge probably pushed backwards. And when it pushed backwards, then it's just like stepping off a boat dock onto the nose of a boat. You know how they react? That's exactly what probably happened right here. That thing pushed back, and then everything was along for the ride in at that point. The excavator on the left, if the excavators are sitting where they were initially, and I think they are, this excavator on the left's okay at the angle it is. The excavator on the right would need to be further on over to the left, because that angle right there that they got hooked to on it is not a very good angle, like to hold that barge into that bank to help support it. And it may not have been enough. It may have pulled on them excavators and may have kind of pulled the booms out on it too, because that's big boy stuff right there. I mean, that ain't no joke. But they have got them a huge mess on their hands. This boat ramp is pretty steep. Obviously, whatever that piece is very heavy. They'll end up having to get a crane or something in there or something to pick that thing up. It looked like it may have damaged that wagon too, because it looked like it was torqued pretty good. And those are actually those big, thick crane mats that are on top of the boat ramp right there. And so they had that thing supported up where they could take the angle. What they were doing was they were working to take the angle out of the boat ramp to where it wouldn't, when they came off the ramp right there, to where it wouldn't have been such an angle going on up the ramp. And of course, that cribbing, those crane mats, some of that stuff could have possibly moved. But you can see the I-beams that are sticking up right there on the trailer. They should be at the front and the back of that thing, and they're both slid back there at the back, because you can look in the video, you can back it back up again, and you can look and you can see how the other one is sitting on the trailer, on the barge, and that's how that one was sitting. And it should have been just a one and done, just a easy peasy thing. Back up there onto the barge, back up under it, cribbing, jack it up some, cribbing out of it, and let it down, drive right off and right to the steel mill. It goes, so you can see the other one right there sitting there. And you see those two giant wooden boxes. There's obviously something inside of both of them that goes off to the mill. This company here, we have a heavy haul company here, a couple of them here. And this company's not from here. I'm not sure who this is. I'm going to replay the video again where you can kind of go back through it. Here it is starting back over again. Like I said, these pieces don't look that big till you kind of get up and see them in person. They're a good size, but very unfortunate accident. Nobody was hurt or anything. At least it didn't say anything in the news stuff about anybody being done, hurt or nothing like that. But they not sure what they'll do to work this thing up. They might be able to get up under it, and kind of jack it back up or something. But they jack it back up. They got to get it back up on top of that trailer. They have to do something. Be interesting to see what all they got to do. And then, of course, if that thing, whatever it is, hopefully it's not damaged. If it's damaged, then that's going to be another problem there, because wherever it come from, they have to make another one or fix that one or whatever they do. I'm sure, I am more than positive that there is somebody who watches my videos who knows all about this. And it always is, because with pushing a couple million views a month and 135,000 subscribers, there's people, I get in touch with somebody that knows. And if you know and you don't mind sharing, you can send me an email privately. My email is right down below, and fill me in on the ins and outs. I will go back out there and see if I can document some more of this and as they go through it. But it's pretty wild, that kind of stuff like that. We have stuff that come in on the river like this from time to time at some of these big industrial places around here that they handle, and they do stuff like this with barges. I don't recall them ever using this boat ramp right here. You can see on the right the bare spot on the grass. That's probably where they had the mats probably stacked, kind of staging, getting ready. And like I said, just to the right corner that knows that barge, you can see where it was as actually setting where it was. And you see where the barge pushed back and pushed off to the left. So that tells me that barge did move several feet right there. And everything kind of shifted as it was going to come off of that barge. But yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to get that figured out. Imagine it made a pretty good crash whenever it came off. And of course, the tugboat, or whatever you want to call it, it's in there, it's still holding the barge, and it's actually sticking out into the river channel. But I think, if other barge comes up and down through there, he can get around him. There's enough room there where he can get around his tail end back there, because there was some pontoon boats and stuff that were floating by as I was there parked by the ramp and everything. So I may ride out there here in a little bit or something and kind of take a look-see at it and check it out. I did see the guys that were with this company, this rigging company here, moving this thing. I seen the hotel that they were staying at, because I seen all their trucks, some of their trucks parked at it last night as I was on my way in. But you look at the mats they got right there. There's quite a few mats. Of course, when that thing came off, it may have damaged the cribbing there. The mats may have protected the concrete. I don't know, but I would imagine it probably busted that concrete all to pieces, but maybe it didn't. So, of course, I've watched this. I hadn't watched it on like a big screen TV yet to kind of see it and see what it all looks like. But crazy deal right there. Again, at least there wasn't anybody that got hurt, because something like that right there, it would be game over as far as that goes. So you can you'll see in the video here, you can pause it anywhere you want to, or you can blow it up on the TV, check it out. But This is right out, just out, well, it's actually sitting right in Columbus. They call this landing Leroy's Landing. It's on the west bank of the river. So hope you enjoyed that. We'll catch y'all later. Later, taters. That's a big old heavy haul trailer right there. And then there's another one sitting right here. So they were going to unload that thing that's in that blue tarp right there, whatever it is. And it fell off the trailer there. Something happened. Anyhow, it's not on the trailer the way it's supposed to be. And see, there's another one on that trailer over there. I mean, on the barge. That's the river. Sitting on the barge over there. They got those two excavators right there where they could anchor back to that barge, hold it there on that boat ramp. It's the boat ramp. So, yeah. They have them a mess right here, obviously.